What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Deathstroke Show. Today we're looking at a McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse DC Rebirth wave. So we have 4 figures here, all from their DC Rebirth design. So first up, we have the Wally West Flash. So he looks cool when he took over as Flash with this new design of like this darker red, maroon color, and black. Looks really cool. And then we have Flash's friend of Godspeed, which looks awesome in the all-white suit with the gold. Looks really cool. And then we have Martian Manhunter, of course, a classic character and an awesome design with the DC Rebirth design, but still looks cool as Martian Manhunter. And then we have Deathstroke, which looks like he's maybe falling out of the box a little bit, but he looks cool again in that DC Rebirth design. But all 4 of these look really cool, and I'm excited to check them out. So let me get them open out of the box, and we'll take a look at them together. So we're going to start off with the Wally West version of Flash, who was struck by a bolt of lightning and covered with chemicals, just like the Flash was while visiting his Aunt Iris in Barry Allen's lab. And with that, he was infused with the power of the Speed Force, just like his hero, the Flash. So Wally West looks cool here in an alternate version. This is the DC Rebirth, so it's kind of where he takes over as Flash and looks pretty good overall. Of course, has his like Wally West design, where he's got the face covering that comes up and covers most of his face, but his hair's still sticking out, so we have his hair there that's kind of flowing with like the red hair design, but we can see his face there that almost looks just like the Flash design, nothing real different there. But then he's got the little lightning bolts on the side this time. They look like the decorations on the front of cars and stuff, just that design. So he has those off the side of his head, that's cool. But then he has the silver lightning bolt on his chest, so just like the Flash. And then the mostly red outfit, so he has the red top and then the black pants with the silver lightning bolts around the top of the gloves and belt, and then at the top of the boots as well, where they're all black. So not much to him color wise, but I think he looks really cool. You know, it does look like a Flash character and just an alternate, more older version of Wally West. So I think he looks cool. But we can do his movement, so his head can twist all the way around. It can look down that far and up that far. So not the best movements, but it's not horrible. Shoulders can come up to 90 with the butterfly joint that doesn't move too much, but it is there and rotates all the way around. We get a bicep twist, double elbow joint that bends all the way up on itself, and the wrist that can twist around and flex on the ball joint, so back and forth. Then we have the ab crunch in the middle, so crunch forward, crunch back, mostly back on this figure, but crunching there, and can twist all the way around. And then we have crunching at the waist as well, so crunch back and forth and twist there. And then we get the hips that can come up to 90, out to the side, can pretty much do the splits. A little bit of a thigh twist, not much, but it is there. Double knee joint that bends that far to the back, and then the foot can flex back and forth on the ball joint and twist side to side. It can twist around as well, and then the toe joint on the end. So he has your pretty standard McFarlane movements, but they are a little bit like looser joints and stuff, and like getting him to stand is pretty difficult with those ankles, but they do have the older ankle designs. They're not the new like molded in, so this is a bit of an older figure that we've held on to, but overall he doesn't look bad. Just again, the figure as usual with McFarlane's for me have some issues, so getting him to stand is pretty difficult. But we do get a base plate that we can pop him on, so that'll keep him standing. And then he comes with some effects of the lightning bolts that we've had with Flashes and everything before. So this time we have these like bluish gray lightning bolt colors. They have some weird colors, some like yellowness to them stuff, but whatever color they are, like gray lightning bolts that we can add on to. I'll try to add them on. I never know exactly where to put all these, but let's try it. So I put all the lightning bolts on them, hopefully in the correct places and positions and stuff, you know, with all the lightning streaks coming off them. With the foot back there trying to run again, it's always hard to get them in these positions, but I think that overall looks pretty decent. You know, carries out the form of him running, and tried to use the base as well to keep him standing up. So I think that looks really cool. And of course, for the DC Rebirth, we also have the Flash we can bring in here. So we have the DC Rebirth version of Flash. So we'd have these two together. So we have the Wally West version and the normal version, which like leg-wise and stuff pretty much share the exact same bodies, just obviously repainted with the colors and stuff, and then switch out the head and doesn't have the lightning bolt design, but everything else is the exact same body. So they just switch out some of the parts in the head and changed up the colors some, but I think he looks pretty cool there overall. And we have his card as well. So there's a picture of him, of course, from DC Rebirth, real name Wallace Rudolph Wally West, and it says while visiting the lab of his uncle to be Barry Allen, the young Wally West was caught in a freak electrochemical accident which gave him the superpowers of the Speed Force, the extra dimensional energy that powers all speedsters. Wally then became the Flash's protege, Kid Flash, and eventually took on the mantle of Flash after Barry sacrificed himself to save the universe in the Crisis on Infinite Earths. But in the years since, Wally found himself trapped out of time and space after another crisis level event. In the end, Wally was able to break free of this nothingness and return home to be Flash once again. So there's more backstory connecting with what I said earlier. So overall, not a bad figure. Like I said, the design's not the best, and especially figure-wise, not the best. Like trying to get him to stand up like this and then a pose of him running isn't the easiest thing to do, but I like being able to add the lightning and the effects tab for posing and stuff. Makes him look really cool. So not a bad figure at all for Wally West here. And next up we have Godspeed, whose real name is August Hart, and he was a former detective partner of Barry Allen and witnessed the incident that turned him into the Flash, but he was also struck by lightning during a Speed Force storm and became a secret partner of the Flash, taking up the name Godspeed as a ruthless vigilante that sought revenge for his brother's killer. So it's just like another version of the Flash, again another character added in, but he looks pretty cool in the mostly all white outfit with the gold details. It just looks really cool. It has the padding and stuff. I feel we've seen this on a Flash figure before. I don't really know which one, but it just sort of looks familiar. But I like the face where his face is all covered with some of the gold design, has the gold eyes and the gold lightning bolts going up into the ear designs. There's even some like texture there on the side of his head and texture all throughout the suit that details. It's pretty smooth on like the front here, but all down the sides and stuff there's some texture into it, again with the lightning bolt on his chest and all the gold details. Everything about it just looks really cool with all the gold, except down at his ankles where the ankle joint designs are way too thin for this, so it's like inside the leg and shoe, so it does not look right at all. Not a good design for that, but everything else about the figure looks cool. So we can do his movements of head twist all the way around, look down that far and up that far. So again, about the same movements as Wally. Shoulders up 90 with the butterfly joint that just popped out. So it has the joint in there, it just doesn't work too well. And can rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist, double elbow joint that bends all the way up. The wrist can twist around and flex back and forth. Now these have the molded joints, so it's kind of blend in there. And I know we have an issue with these that the lower hand joint, we can't get the twist at all. We can only twist at the upper section, so that it's real stuck in there, and try to get it loose and nothing would work. So we have that sort of issue, but still allows the hands to move, so it's not too bad. But then we get the ab crunches. So we have the upper ab crunch, so barely any crunching, but can twist a little side to side. And then we have the lower ab crunch. There we get it back and forth and can twist there as well. The hips can come up 90 out to the side there. He can do the splits. A little bit of a thigh twist, double knee joint that bends that far. He can kick his own button. His foot's kind of going over to the side some. And then the foot can rock back and forth and twist side to side. And again, with this joint, it's the blend in. So we have the twisting at the top, and then the foot can also twist at the bottom there as well with the toe joint on the end. So overall, besides like the stuck joints, the joints aren't bad. They're kind of loose, like, and he doesn't have the best like ab crunch and everything. So the joints again aren't the best, but it does seem a little bit better than that Wally West at least. Still not the best figure ever. And he's not perfect standing up, like it's not that many issues, but his feet aren't perfect, but we get the base to pop him on. So that'll keep him standing. And the only thing we get with him are some lightning effects. So I don't remember having effects like these before. They're like a yellowish sort of color, but we can try and put them on him. So I tried to get the lightning on him, and I have absolutely no clue where it goes. Like I've tried to like mess around and put it on different sections to get it to stay, and it doesn't really stick anywhere just with the like grip designs on it. So I got it on like the bicep sort of there is about the best I could get that one. And this one I have no clue because there's like no grip at all, but I was able to slide it up on the arm and hand. It kind of sits on there but falls off real easily because like this one, like I said, barely has any grip. It's just got like a little curve design, like flatness to it, so it seems like maybe on like a flat arm or something, but I have no clue. So I'll probably have to just look up a picture and see where it goes, but as of right now I have absolutely no clue where this even goes on him. But anyways, there's just the Godspeed. Probably wouldn't use it anyways. But then we have a card there, so there's a picture of. Now I like this because the gold is much more yellow to it, and so it looks really cool. I love that design, so I wish that's the version. It'll probably be an exclusive or something coming up. But on the back we have real name August Hart. It says August Hart is a former colleague and friend of Barry Allen at the Central City Police Department. While investigating his brother's death, August is shot by an operative of the criminal organization Black Hole, but due to the organization's experiments with the Speed Force, a bolt of lightning strikes August just before he's hit. Now able to tap into the extra-dimensional energy of the Speed Force, August is given the superpowers of a speedster. Donning the name Godspeed, August takes justice into his own hands, destroying criminals with impunity until he's stopped by the Flash. So sounds pretty cool. It gives us more backstory there. So overall, it's a nice figure design. Like I said, I wish it was more of that yellow gold color instead of this like bronzish gold, but it still looks pretty cool. And then like I said, these stupid lightning effects that I don't know what to even do with. But either way, not bad like figure wise, but I feel it could be improved. And next up we have Martian Manhunter again in his DC Rebirth look, which I don't mind the look overall, like the outfit design and stuff. I just don't like this actual figure because like looking at it, it's almost like he has no neck at all, so I don't like that. But otherwise I do like the outfit design. It's, you know, a modernized version where he's wearing more clothes and everything, so it's not bad. But the name he took up was John Johns, and he's one of the last survivors of planet Mars. And here on Earth he took up the secret identity of a deceased detective named John Jones, and from there he ended up becoming a member of the Justice League. And what's cool about him is all his different powers. So he's the power of shape-shifting, invisibility, phasing, regeneration, flight, heat vision, telepathy, telekinesis, and has a Martian vision. So he's pretty cool. He's always one of the Justice League characters I like a lot. So I guess that's probably also why I like the look of him here. But like I said, except for his stupid neck where he like doesn't have any, but he still looks pretty cool. So he's got the long like blue cape design. I like this blue color. It's like an indigo design, so it stands out. Some nice little clips here holding on the cape. Then he's got his outfit design of the black and red, which is cool. So up around the shoulder with his collar piece, the straps going down, so very much like his classic design. Belt around the waist with the like cloth here, again in black and red with some gold details, and black legs going all the way down to the boots, where he's got mostly black boots, both the red details, and I like the red bottoms on there. And then of course his all green alien skin. So very cool looking figure, like I said, except for a stupid neck. But for movements, the head can twist all the way around. He can look down that far and up that far. So again, about the same movements we've had. Shoulders up to 90 with the butterfly joint and rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist, the double elbow joint that bends all the way up on itself, the wrist that can twist around and flex on the ball joint. And it looks like, yeah, it has some sort of a molded design. Not perfect, but there is some design there. And then we get the ab crunch. So we've got crunch back and forth and twist around there. So again, not much crunching, but mostly twist. And then we have the waist. If I can get a hold of it, he can twist around there and crunch back and forth just a little. So hard because of his outfit, but then we get the hips that can come up pretty close to 90 there, out to the side, not close to doing splits. Very little thigh twist, but a double knee joint that bends up that far, which isn't bad. And then we get the foot that can flex back and forth and twist side to side, and he does have the blending in joint there, so it has the twisting all around and the toe joint on the end. So overall, not a bad figure. Has some limitations just because of his outfit, it seems like, but not bad movements at all. And he stands up really easily, but we do have the base if we needed it. And he doesn't come with any accessories, but we do have the classic version of Martian Manhunter. So again, released by McFarlane. We just never done a video on this, but I love this figure because it's that classic look. But I just love his overall design and stuff of this figure much more. He's got much more of a neck, even though it's like doesn't really seem that much, but just because of the color design, you get to see more of the neck. So he doesn't look as weird as this newer one. But either way, I like both. I think the classic has the upper hand to me, but either isn't bad. The DC Rebirth is just fine. But we do have his card, so there's a picture of him there. I like how his eyes are more red in the picture compared to the actual figure. But of course, from DC Rebirth, real name John Johns. But it says John Johns, the mysterious Martian Manhunter, is one of the last survivors of planet Mars and was accidentally transported to Earth not long after the majority of his people were wiped out. Martian Manhunter is thought to be as strong as, or possibly stronger than, Superman, and has a variety of powers including super strength, super speed, flight, telepathy, telekinesis, shape-shifting, phase shifting, regenerative abilities, and near invulnerability. Manhunter also has a genius level intellect and a strong leadership skills. Using his vast powers and skills, Martian Manhunter strives to protect the citizens of his new home, Earth. So there it gives you a lot more detail and some more powers thrown in there. So again, not a bad figure. I always like Martian Manhunter, so I don't hate this figure. But like I said, I think I like that classic a little bit more. And our final figure today is Deathstroke, whose real name is Slade Wilson, and he's an elite mercenary considered to be the world's greatest assassin, and he volunteered for the Enhanced Soldier Initiative, so almost like the Super Soldier Initiative, which was an experiment that accelerated dormant and meta genes, and his evolved his brain to access functions on a cellular level to gain many physical attributes, such as accelerated healing, enhanced senses, and superhuman abilities, which all go along with him being a highly skilled swordsman and marksman, so he's always pretty cool and one of my brother's favorite characters, so he looks pretty awesome here. But with the DC Rebirth design, I don't like it as much. With it being all black and yellow, it's very Halloweenish, of course, coming up, but I like the normal like blue and orange design. But this one doesn't look bad with the black. Of course, with it being just all solid black, no real wash or anything details into it, just kind of all flat there. But you can see all the designs they have into it, just with all black, you don't get to notice it too well. But you see half of his face is black, so he's got the half orange, half black design with the tails in the back as well. And then he's got the mostly black design, so most of his chest and down his one arm is black, as well as the legs going all the way down with the orange details. So like on this side, he's got the orange with like the scaling, very classic for Deathstroke there, with the white arm going into the orange gloves on both sides, belt with orange pockets and stuff around the back and a holder and stuff there around his thigh as well, all the way down to the legs where he's got another thigh holder and orange on the boots as well. So I don't like I said, this design overall as much. The figure looks really cool, but I just don't like that design as much just because I love the classic design more. But overall, he's not bad. But we can do his movements. so a head twist all the way around. You look down that far and up that far. So he has like the best neck movement so far. It's very nice and smooth. The shoulders come up 90 with that butterfly joint there and rotate all the way around. We get a bicep twist, double elbow joint that bends all the way up on itself. Wrist can twist around and flex back and forth on the ball joint, wherever it's at. I can't really get it to bend there. It's kind of popping now. But then we get the ab crunch. So we have the upper ab crunch, crunch back and forth, and twist around. Very smooth movements there. And then crunch at the waist and twist there. So he's very smooth just overall. Then you get the hips that can come up pretty close to 90 out to the side. He can do splits. A little bit of a thigh twist, not much, but a double knee joint that bends up that far to the back. Then we get the foot that rocks back and forth and twists side to side with sort of like the blend-in joints and the toe at the end there. So yeah, he's just pretty smooth overall, which is nice for a figure. It may have some issues with him standing, but it's nice being able to move and not like have popping and creaking and stuff for most joints. They just smooth moving. And for standing, he's not horrible, but he does have some issues rocking back and forth, but we'll put him on the base. And he comes with some accessories, which is cool. So first off, we get a knife. So we have knife design, and it's the usual McFarlane's where I think they're way too thick and bulky, but it has a cool design overall with the handle and stuff. So it looks cool. So this, we can put it into the sheath down here on his leg. So it's cool. We have a nice little storage section there. And then he also comes with his sword. So it's almost like his classic sword design, at least to me. So it looks pretty cool with this nice golders color handle design, sort of yellow with that design there going into the silver blade, which the sword actually looks pretty decent. It's not too thick overall, so it's not a horrible sword. And with this, we do have the little clip section here on the back. So we have this that we can, I assume, just slide the sword into like that, or probably up in this area more. Don't know how you get it in there, but I'm sure you can get it in there to store it better than just that. But let's go and actually just put this in his hand. So there I got the sword in his hand, and that looks pretty cool overall for Deathstroke. That sword had just more of that classic look to him. And then for Deathstroke, the only other figure we have is this game one. I think it's from one of the like Arkham games or something, but it has that classic orange and blue design, which I like more, but it's overall just bigger and bulky and much more armored out. So I don't like this specific version either. I'd probably take this comic looking one more over it. But like I said, I wish it was more of that blue and orange instead of the black and orange, but not horrible. Like I said, I wish they would have done something on the black just to bring out more of the details on the body. It kind of gets lost in all the black there, but not a horrible figure by any means. And then we have his card as well, so there's a nice picture of Deathstroke there. And around on the back, of course, real name Slade Wilson, as I said. It says Slade Wilson is a mercenary and assassin for hire with no qualms about crossing lines to get the job done, no matter where those lines are drawn. A formidable operative of the U.S. military, Colonel Slade Wilson agreed to undergo an experimental process that increased his mental and physical abilities to superhuman levels. Rather than continue his career as a soldier, Slade became the masked mercenary Deathstroke. This decision resulted in his wife leaving him and his son Joseph being permanently injured, as well as the death of his son Grant, who sought to emulate Slade. So there's a little bit more backstory and more tragicness. Well, that's going to be it for our McFarlane DC Multiverse DC Rebirth Wave, where we got 4 figures that I think are all pretty decent. So we got the Wally West version of Flash, Godspeed, Martian Manhunter, and Deathstroke. All of these are pretty cool. I definitely like the Martian Manhunter and Deathstroke the best because I'm just not a huge Flash fan, so any of the Flash characters I don't really care for too much. But I do like this Wally West design, and Godspeed I feel could just be improved if it was more of that yellow gold design onto him. But all the figures, like I said, aren't bad. They're just McFarlane, so I wish they were all a little bit better, but I just have to deal with what they are, but not horrible figures by any means. But let me know what you thought of them down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with a thumbs up. Well, and thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.